Great, awesome. So, hi everyone. I am Janair Hines. I'm a practicing attorney and I help other attorneys, people in other high stress professions to find meaning and purpose in their careers, to perform at the highest level without sacrificing their health, their relationships, or their reputation. I use the Thrive Blueprint method, which combines performance psychology, neuroscience, and strategy to help you overcome stress and burnout. And today I want to talk about one of the big things that people kind of struggle with when they're considering doing something about the stress that they face in their lives. And really, what it is the more stressed and busy you are, the more you need something like this in your life. I think the reason why people feel like if they're too stressed or too busy, like this is another thing on their plate. But let's talk about these two things, right? Being stressed and being busy. When we are stressed, we are basically in an altered state. So when you're stressed out, your brain is not as efficient. You're not as good at remembering things. You make poor decisions, or maybe you don't make poor decisions, but at the very least, your decision making is not at the level where it could be. And I remember when I had first started my law firm many years ago, I was very much in that state of being very busy. So I would have days where I like wake up, I hit the gym, I have to hurry up, get ready. I got to be in court at 9 a.m. Okay, I have court. I finish. I may need to go to like a luncheon for an organization that I'm in. And then in the afternoon, I get back to the office. I have a motion I need to file and I'm working on the motion. And, I'm working on this. I get a phone call, I get interrupted. I'm doing things 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I'm still in the office. I'm still trying to get this thing done. 9 o'clock, I have to go because now I'm starving. And then I get home and I realize I didn't do laundry. I still have these things I haven't done. I feel like I've been busy and working all day and it feels almost like I did not accomplish enough. And I know this is a feeling that a lot of people can identify with because we all kind of go through that at times, right? Where like you are working, 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 you're busy, 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 and it still feels like it's not enough. It still feels like you're not doing enough or you're not accomplishing enough. And you look at your to do list and it's like, oh my gosh, like I completely forgot I should have done this today. And now it's on the agenda for tomorrow, but you have a whole other list of things you need to do tomorrow. And what happened is when I found this work, wow, it really changed everything for me because it's almost like it added more spaciousness into my day where, yes, I could still wake up and go to the gym, get ready, and go to court. I could still like go do the luncheon and in the afternoon do my work, right? So the structure of the day might still be the same, but it almost felt like, well, it feels like I accomplished so much more. I feel like the things that used to take me all day to do, it takes me so much less time now. And it's not about me being more efficient or anything like that. It's like when you think about it, when you're in that stressed and busy state and you're working on something, it's like I remember like I'm working on a motion and I'm typing the motion, everything is good. I'm proofreading it. Okay, no problem. Put it in a PDF. I'm getting ready to file it. Before I file it, I always take a last look over and then I see a mistake. And I'm like, oh no. Okay, so now I have to go back to the Word version. I'm fixing that. And as I'm fixing that, I get a phone call and then I'm distracted and I come back to it. And then now, did I check that citation? I don't remember if I checked that citation. I need to check this. And it just takes so much longer versus now where it's like when I'm working, I get into like this flow state and I feel like my mind is supercharged. Like I see everything clearly. My body is calm as I'm working. It's almost like I'm enjoying it, which might sound crazy to some people, but it feels good as I'm working on this thing. Everything is smooth. If I do get a phone call, I handle the phone call and it's like my brain goes like this. And my body is so much more regulated. And I'll tell you about that because there is this thing that happens when you're in a state of like regulation, we call it, right? So your body, your mind, your emotions are all working together. And it's like all the different parts of you are communicating with each other. So you don't have this like friction between your logic and your emotion as you're working on something, or your physical body. You remember to eat, and it's like your body organizes things for you better. And I'm describing it as if it's some airy fairy concept, but really this is scientific. This has been proven. It can even be measured. Your level of coherence can actually be measured to decide, okay, are you somewhere on the scale, a scale from 0 to 10 of regulation? Where are you? Right? So I think for a lot of professionals live within 3 to 5 on the scale from what I've seen. It's like you're not super stressed, but something small could go off and it could ruin your whole day. Or like some people who are they seem to be calm, but they have this like buzzing, like they're kind of always on. And it's like they're like this, like they're ready, head on a swivel all the time. What this kind of work will do for you, it will get you to 0 or as close to 0 as you can get. And the longer you work on it, the closer you'll get to 0. So being at 0 is at a state where you're so calm, where you remember things easily. Everything is coming to you. Like you can talk to this person and do this thing, and everything is just so seamlessly flowing, and it feels really good. It feels really good in your body. And it's a state where you can really enjoy your work, not just do it, but really like feel good and enjoy it the way how you imagined it would be when you first got into law school or med school or whatever. So what it also does is, because there are also people who live in 0 naturally, or not naturally, but because they're already regulated, or they don't have the kind of traumas, they don't have the kind of like type A personality mindset that would cause them to kind of live in that stress mode, even if it's a low stress mode. What it does is, if you are in like a 0, it will expand your capacity for BS, right? So if you're at a 0, right, for most people, if you get yourself to a 0 and then something happens, now you may get to a 3. If you're really, really good, something may happen and you get to a 2 or 1. But what this kind of work does over time is, say for instance, let's look at this example. Say the normal person lives at a 3, right? You live at a 3, something happens, you may get up to a 6, right? Now you're angry, your day's ruined. Like you're not out of control, you still have a level of control, but it's just you're not having a good day at that point. Versus somebody at a 0, something may happen and they may get to a 3, right? And if you can expand that, you can have something happen. And when I say something happen, I mean like something negative in your day. So say for instance, you get cut off in traffic, or you get into an accident in the morning, right? It can be anything. But say you're at a 0 and something could happen that would get you to a 1. You can expand that. So now that one thing happens, you're still at a 0. Something else can happen, you're still at a 0. Something else can happen, you might be close to 1 now, but over time doing this and working on these things, it just expands and expands and expands. And the longer you do it, the better you get at it. And what it also will do for you, it will also enable you to recognize when you're getting into that state. So what happens with most people who've never done anything before is, say they live at a 3, something happens, they get to a 5, and then they're at a 5 for the rest of the day. They may stay at a 5 for a really long time before something good may happen and they get back down to a 3, and then they stay at a 3. But if you can work on being able to recognize when you get to a 5, then you can bring yourself back down to a 3 as quickly as possible. And this is very important because when you're in high stress, you are not yourself, really. You are not at your best, and your body is producing chemicals that are going to eventually make you sick because it's not meant for you to be in that state long term. This is how a lot of times we find that people in high stress professions end up with a lot of chronic illnesses, a lot of depression, suicidal ideation, because of the fact that when you're in stress, your body is producing these chemicals that are not sustainable. So the expectation is, if you were in the jungle and you were in stress, number one, it's temporary. So lion is chasing you, lion stops chasing you, you go back down. And also is we would have more of ways to release that energy. So if a lion is chasing you and you're running, you're already releasing that extra energy that your body is producing. But then also, in addition to that, like, you look at other animals in the animal kingdom, they all have things that they do. Like a duck, I think they do like some kind of shaking or something after a stressful thing. Like different animals have different shaking they may do, roaring they may do, whatever it is to release that extra energy. But humans, for us, a lot of times those things are not appropriate. Like things like punching the wall might be a good way to release it, but that's not, you can't go punching the wall in your office, right? um Maybe screaming, maybe jumping, something, but it's not always, you're not always in a position to do that. So what this work will teach you to do is to bring it down, recognize when you're there and bring it down, and then also expand your capacity. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I do have now an email list. So if you want to get more information, if you want to know when I'm doing any kind of workshops, or you want to just be able to get some of this free information that can just help you throughout your day, help you along your journey, sign up for my email list. The description is below, or the information below. You can also sign up. I have 2 programs. I have the regular Thrive Blueprint program, which is where it is such a valuable program. You get 6 weeks of courses. You also get live coaching calls every week. And then you get a vault of exercises, meditations, checklists, things that you can work through on your own. That would be super resourceful for you. The other tier is, if you want to do the VIP package, you can get everything that's included in the regular package. So you get the courses, you get the coaching calls, you get the vault, but then you also get on top of that your own private blueprint. So I'll work with you personally and see what we need to do for you specifically. And you also get 3 private strategy sessions. Now this one, I'm very much going to limit it. So I'm only going to have 5 spots in that, and one of the spots is already taken. So I'm only going to take 4 people in the VIP package. But again, the information is down below. Everything starts on September 1st, 2025. I also have a free workshop that I'm going to teach the Thursday before that. So I believe that's the 28th. So if you want to sign up for the email list, that's the only way to get into the workshop. I'll send the information there. But sign up for the email list. I'll send you for the workshop. And then during that workshop, I'll work with you through some things for free that is going to help you even if you don't decide not to do the courses or anything like that. This is something that's going to be really valuable and on its own will help you tremendously. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, I am Janair Hines. And let me know in the comments also if you have other questions, if there's anything else that you would like me to talk about. And thank you so much. Take care.